right, everyone. We are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, your chief host of the show. As you can see with this now newly introduced tagline under the bottom of my wonderful name. And today I don't have my Orange Doggo co-host Avira. He's just gone AWOL for some reason. But I do hope he safely returns for the next episode. But nonetheless, I do like to explain that I was away for the past couple of weeks, which we will get to that in a minute, and you're going to love it. But now, joining us on the show, as always, is our interim host, Noble.
Nice, good morning to everyone, except the fact it's summer and I'm wondering why.
Oh, I want some more of that wet back because I've had sun and sun all week pretty much, and it hurts.
Yep, the sun definitely likes to come around and burn everyone every now and then.
You need to tell me about it. I've been out in it for so long. I am in pain. Oh well. Next up, joining us on the show, our big brother, Inu.
Hey, got your out of season Christmas doggo here.
Well, I don't know, man. You're gonna have to go back and wait until December again, or go back to December.
I'm okay with that because Christmas should happen at least twice a year, at the very least. I love Christmas. Shout out to Boxcar. Hey,
Indeed.
Don't dogs have like 5 or 6 Christmases per year?
well, I mean, with dog ears, sure. We'll stick with that.
Indeed. And joining us on the show is the cutest pupper, Ali.
Ruff, ruff, ow. Hi, everyone.
Have you back again?
Thanks. Glad to be back again.
All right. So the question on our minds is, where has Jolty been the past weeks or two?
Now we can take the pin out of it.
Yes, so to speak. And you did just that last week without me having to actually explain what that is. And I do have to say once again, I mean, really, thanks for this one though. I do have to say once again, who is this handsome purple thing?
Are you leaning up on some sort of a cannon or a gun or something? No, that's like a thing for tying boats to the shore. Or
No, it's a pin to an old bridge. Well, a temporary one.
looking good, nonetheless. Looking good. He's in a. Oh, he's a partial.
Yeah, I was actually in that sort of mood for quite a lot of the trip actually. It made, like, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think I got so much comments saying that me in a flannel was going to be quite the aesthetic.
Yeah. We don't see Jolty in partial a lot, so it's something interesting to us.
And if he was here for one extra day, Jolt would have felt the partial force of the sun.
Well, at least I'd
This
have
is like-
sunburn protection.
It gets hot enough down here that the roads will melt.
That's actually happened a couple of years ago, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was funny actually.
Yeah, as it was saying with Boxer Husky, is it for cables? Yeah. I was told it held up the bridge, but then it, kind of got snapped, right?
And it's cold again.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, the partial aesthetic is strong with this one, the flannel aesthetic. Behold. You know where this is.
I believe that's the beach where the penguins are.
Kind of, yes. It's true, the penguins do rook around here in Bruni Island.
There was a
Right where
thing for a while when they were building the car park down there. You can just see on the railing where
yeah.
people were afraid that road, basically, penguins are going to walk over it and they're going to become roadkill. But the idea was apparently, I don't know if they implemented it, but they were supposed to be able to wander on underneath the road itself.
Hmm.
Man, that construction was a drama fest.
Yeah, that's a really good pick. Like the scenery is really pretty and everything.
It's really what this is a natural land bridge that connect, and the island is just divided into two, but this thing just connects them. Seems to have connected them both. So we don't call it two islands; we call it one.
Oh
But
wow.
it's yeah, and again, like it just looks so stunning. Like it is literally the most perfect vista spot right up at Bruni.
Nice. Oh wow.
Yeah, like
And I'm not
real,
gonna lie, Jolty, you look fantastic as a partial. Absolutely fantastic.
like the comment says, hashtag flannel life.
Yes.
But yes, I think part of it has to do with not just where I went, but the whole planning around what where I went to with what I went to. So yeah, and along the journey, I've had so many fantastic, spectacular hikes that have just it just makes it all worth it. But you know what
What
though?
about the food?
Yeah, I was told that that place I went to, Bruni Island, is a haven for food lovers. Maybe it is. Like I actually ended up eating oysters
Ooh.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of food though. You are gonna get. I'm gonna say this: you are gonna end up being sick of seafood and pies if you ever come to Tasmania.
Yeah, it's a real shame. When I was hanging out Jolt for them the last day, the our factory outlet was closed, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Tasmania's national pies. Yeah, I'd get a hankering for other stuff though. But you know what though? By this picture here on the trail, up in the mountains at National Park, facing that, describes my mood.
That's a really weird rock. Very, very weird rock.
That is such a mood though.
Well, you're talking about a state where the local wildlife likes to get high, eat the poppies, and then make crop circles. So
Very true, but all up, um, yeah, it's a very, very majestic mountain. What this is, though, the national park Freycinet is basically an archipelago thing that's surrounded by like 6 mountains, maybe 7.
Wow.
So yeah, like, and the vista from the bay, I can tell you, it is actually worth the walk and just the admission fee into the national parks.
Looks like you had some pretty decent weather.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
actually, the
actually
sun came out. Like, it's like for once, the sun actually came out.
it was rather mild while Jolt was here, which is good. But I was sort of hoping we'd get the full force of the sun, to be honest.
Well, that's because Jolt left and he took the cool with him because he's cool, kind of. Maybe.
You could say that, but you know what though? But in and around the park, you get nothing that beats this. Nothing.
Yeah. My gosh, you can see for miles.
Yeah, you can.
Welcome to Tasmania.
The
Oh,
truth,
that was there was a cartoon by Warner Brothers because of that, and a little theme song. I don't know if we're gonna
Come
get
to Tasmania. Come to Tasmania. We mean you. Just watch out for the
welcome to
locals.
Atlantis. Yeah, it's like welcome to Atlantis way under down under. The sky is always yellow and the rain shine down in Tasmania. Down in Tasmania.
yeah. But all up though, it's what it really is though. Tasmania is just mainly mountains and nature reserve is pretty much what it most comprises of.
For a
And
very
this
long
is
time, it was on my list of places to go, along with Uluru, just to see a giant rock in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, just don't climb that thing.
Well, apparently it changes colors and stuff.
But it's all up. It's and that's really what it is though. But now this is the part where I guess if you really wanted to see me in full fursuit, this is where you've been going to be waiting for. Because now this is the time where I bring out more suit and it is worth it.
Oops.
I know, right? This is like something that this is so characteristically Jolt.
I was going to say that's very squirrel-like behavior. Look at that. Not even a flinch. Not even a flinch. The camera guy is like, go away.
I actually thought that you were gonna get wet during that.
I think the waves were actually more raging than I actually kind of expected, but I got through a great spot. But you just have to admire how beautiful this place is. This is the Bay of Fires, right out the eastern coast. The eastern coast of Tasmania, and it has all these organic, natural red rocks. It is, in one word, majestic. Just look at it. This is like when you get the contrast so perfect.
T-posing at its best.
Well, I wouldn't say I was T-posing by intent. I was more like, look at this. Just look at the marvel of it all those rocks.
I really wanted to take you down to Blackman's Bay, but we didn't have the time, unfortunately.
I think all of it just makes all so much better. But yeah.
I gotta say, you make that fursuit proud. You take that fursuit everywhere. You show it the best times.
At the end of the day, my goal is to show you the world expressed through Jolt's eyes. And if I've actually been able to do that, then I feel that I've succeeded. To show you the beauty of the world in Jolt's eyes, to inspire people to get out and take the fursuit where no fursuit has probably ever stepped foot before.
Oh, while you were here, did you see any other furries?
Well, there was one point that somebody did say there was, a furry. But no, I didn't see any other furries. Somebody, like some, human passers-by did say, oh, But
yeah, we do have a bit of a community down here, but they all seem to be a bunch of I'm just going to put down the NPC type people, which is really depressing.
Yeah, so I just got a few more, and then I think you're gonna get these next bits.
Oh, how cool!
Oh, hi. There's a random boat that's just moored right there. I mean, it ain't the safest place to put a boat, but hey, park your boat, but hey.
My gosh, look at those clouds in the background at the horizon.
Oh yeah, we get that a lot. It can be a real Arctic blast at times.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Arctic blast. We're having one right now. It's supposed to be minus 40 in Fahrenheit. I don't know what Celsius is.
So when I say Arctic blast, I literally mean like a gush of wind comes up from the Arctic and sort of hits the island. It's sometimes
It
nuts.
seems to be a thing, like, it's just because of its proximity to the Antarctic. But I have to do this, though. It ain't a jolt thing unless there's a tree involved.
Oh my god.
What do you think? Is this tree my big new blanket? Is this tree my new home? Or am I hiding here? Let me know what you think.
It's Jolt's new man cave. Party
Yes.
party place.
Yeah. That's the thing. Let's ask people around. Is this Joel's new man cave? I mean, look on the right side on the listing. You got waterfront views, you've got peace and quiet, you've got seclusion, and you've got nature.
Watch
How's
out for the
that?
wallabies.
And speaking of trees, and again, we're bringing out more suit. One day on this trip, I went out to the wilderness up in the different mountains, right next smack bang in the middle of Tasmania. And it was colder than usual. I was getting to like bordering like the 50-odd Fahrenheit range. And I came in a bit underprepared, and I actually decided, like, you know what? I'm just going to wear Jolty as an excuse to wear the full suit. And it worked spectacularly. If only to keep myself warm. You know why? Because I would be able to give you pictures like these, right in the heart of the wilderness.
All right, when you say cold weather, yeah, you look pretty chill there.
I know, excuse the pun, but dude, you want to see that sort of chill and cold weather? I should show you that this place, I was told, Cradle Mountain, can be beautiful one day, deadly the next, because it can go snowy in just mere hours. And I shudder to think what would happen in winter. Look at this though. You look at that foamy white water at the front, and you look at and it's an illusion that the water has frozen over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like how cold it gets. Can get.
Hmm.
And
I have a question. Was it hard to put the backpack on in full suit?
no, not really. Although it causes me to shed a lot of fur.
Ah, so you're going balls then.
Yeah, in the back. I'm gonna start, shedding fur from the back. Not that I'm, can't survive, but yeah. But it was a thing of necessity, because that was like I was hiking out there for 2 hours, and you can imagine just the strain it puts on the feet. Well, a bit more than 2 hours, but no, it was worth it because you found this, a shed in the wilderness. One lone shed.
Shed in the wilderness. That sounded sketchy at first until you pulled up the image.
That I'm more than sure. everyone knows who Bob Ross is because that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I know Bob Ross.
His paintings are amazing, and a lot of the pictures you just pulled up, just they're absolutely stunning, bro.
It
Absolutely stunning.
it just evokes that sort of thing, like, and it all works because there was a combination of everything that worked. Like in its own way, the weather worked in its own way. The photography really worked, and I guess all up, to sum up the whole adventure, I would say it is worth it if you really are looking for nature and seclusion and just well away from city life. Then Tasmania is very much worth it.
Getting back to the one point that you made where you said because you're trying to inspire people to go out and venture out and go places. You know
Yeah.
what? You proved that 100%. You don't need to wear a fursuit in a stuffy convention. Go anywhere else. You can wear it anywhere else. You can be your animal self anywhere you want. It doesn't need to be in a confined little space during a furry convention.
Oh, of course, definitely.
You've definitely gotten your point across, man.
Thank you.
Wow.
And that's the thing. Like you paid for the fursuit. You're damn well sure you got to use the fursuit. And I know, sadly, a lot of furries are just basically convention only or furry only suit wearers. But not me.
Well, on a 60-degree day, if you were to just simply romp around the desert, you'd sweat through it pretty quickly.
I mean, let's be fair. Let's be realistic here. You gotta set boundaries, though. But all up, though, now we get to move to the actual items on the show. So, let us begin to move forward. Ooh, what have we got here? For Sims 4 allows players to give characters transgender quote-unquote top surgery scars, chest binders.
Mm. All right, I get the idea about wanting to experience what it would actually look like, but yeah, I'm hoping the regret would sit in for a few people with that.
Actually, I would be disappointed if they don't cover to the whole effects of what said people experience, which is to say,
Mood
like the
swings
highest
and gluttony.
gluttony, mood swings, regret, and a higher compulsion to yeet yourself from existence.
I love how that's been referred to as transphobic talk. Truth always bites.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter
I,
is, when you are so far in denial of the immutable facts and the truth, then you get this.
Well, at least people have the ability to explore it virtually now. Well, except you could do it in Second Life.
Yeah, and now this is the thing. Like, this is The Sims is a life simulator, and you get to do this. You get to make a character into this atrocity.
the only thing I have to say about it is I have a friend in real life, all right, and I'm not going to mention names because I'm going to respect their privacy. She transgendered into a guy, and I didn't even know it until one of his friends. I'm going to refer to him as him because he has me 100% convinced that he's a guy. All right,
Mm-hmm.
he had his top surgery, and I didn't know that he was actually born a female until the drunk friend outed him. And to make a long story short, after the words were said and the screaming stopped, he comes to me and I'm like, I still think you're a guy because I don't care what the other person just said about you. I still take you as one of my male friends. And he goes to me, he's like, I never told anybody. I didn't throw any parades for myself. I never virtue signaled because being born a woman is something I would rather forget.
Mhm.
I'm not going to throw a party for myself. I'm not going to throw a parade for myself because that's something that I would like to forget. It's nothing that I'm not proud of it, but I'm not ashamed of it. But it's a part of my life that I would love to forget because when you really want to transgender and want to, you know, become something else that you feel that you should be, you want to forget what you used to be.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
I respect him 100%. I love him to pieces.
Avira, the problem with the world is all those people who are insecure and they have to boast. I mean, shit. Some absolutely have to scream from building tops. It's fucking psychotic. It's like modesty doesn't exist.
Like, you know what? I'll throw myself under the bus right now because I'm already hated by a lot of people. I don't agree with transgenderism, but if you're going to do it, I mean,
Be
go all
respectful.
the way. Go all the way and forget about who you were and don't let anybody know who you were. You want to be this person so badly? Be that person. God bless you. More power to you. Forget who you were and embrace who you want to be.
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting thing that's been brought up with in light of the whole Sims thing, is that what the Sims did is that the game was actually has a rating of 12 plus, and as I understand it, a lot of younger players do play The Sims.
Ugh, their marketing. I'm not going to say the word. Uh,
Yeah, they're trying to, make the whole trans thing more, approachable, marketable for younger people.
Why are
And
so many people obsessed with boobs? I'm sorry, but a game that's basically this obsessed with breasts is a bit. Yeah, I can get it in Second Life, but Sims? It's like it's turning into a porno now.
because that's just the world today. Everything revolves around sex these days and sexual genders and sexual nature. Where children were supposed to know, go to school, reading, writing, arithmetic, come home, you put your homework off to the side like a bad kid and watch cartoons. And even the cartoons are all about sex now.
but this
Oh,
is
they always have been. I mean, look
yeah,
at Bugs Bunny, for instance. He used to go around cross-dressing just to screw with people. It was fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
yeah. Now this is just a little different thing on a different scale, but let's look at what they've introduced to The Sims 4. You know, medical wearables, like apart from all the whole, kerfuffle, medical wearables,
What's
yeah,
a
like,
medical wearable?
hearing aids, glucose monitors, and all that stuff. Okay, understandable. They're accessories, pretty cool stuff. Like they're trying to make this so you can kind of simulate like disabled Sims or whatever, in a way, make it a bit more accessible, or reach out to the disabled community.
Mm, I don't like that terminology.
Right.
I might have a view of this that a lot of people don't like, but I think if someone is stuck in a wheelchair, they'd like to forget about it, and these people are bringing it to the surface. It's a
Uh, I'm more,
Sims.
I'm more
It,
against the idea of fetishizing disabled people,
Yeah, or
physical
like
or mental.
this is kind of like, in a way, virtue signaling. That's kind of like what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's The Sims. It's pretend.
Yeah,
And
it is.
if you can't have the use of your legs in real life, well then I can get on this video game and pretend that I have real legs and be happy for a few moments. And this is being shoved in. Oh my god, this is being shoved in everyone's faces now.
Well, honestly,
Mhm.
if it was put forward in a different light that wasn't, alphabet soup sort of shit, it'd probably be better. But this just seems like they're trying to, bend over for everybody.
Yeah, and it just, of course, the whole top surgeries cause is just prime example of that. And also, you can't help but notice what's with everybody obsessing over, body shapes, masculine or feminine body shape, or body shape 1, body shape 2, like World of Warcraft just did. Oh no, you can't say male or female or whatever. It's body type 1, body type 2.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I'm gonna shut up now because I've already got myself into a lot of trouble tonight. Haven't I?
Oh, just fuck it. Just go all the way with that shit.
Full send. Full send. I think the way we gotta go, the way we, us, the way we gotta do it full send. We're not like a lot of other podcasts. Come on.
I don't regret nothing and I don't apologize for it because that's who I am.
Yep. Honesty is the best policy.
And this is why we run the show. Now, interesting live comments. Boxcar Hussey. Can I get a wheelchair? Maybe. Again, like with all things with PC games, mods are always the solution to it all if you can't have it. But yeah, imagine this. Like, now that this whole trans thing is here, I think now, the modding community may very well have a lot of fun with it.
Some of them are trolls and I love them. I can just imagine now the trolls modding them. And it's like, hey, have a third arm coming out of your head.
Are you just going to limit it to the head?
Oh my! Have an arm through your back and one coming out of the leg.
No, you can have an arm as a unicorn horn.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more like in the crutch area. Gifted.
Oh god! And it's holding a baby head.
Oh my fucking god.
Now, so at the end of the thing, okay, the live comment, Fari Campari. I identify as able fluid so I can ride the motorized wheelchair at Walmart whenever I want. Now, with this sort of thing, just as a kind of a round out to this segment here with The Sims, like, what do you think? Is this kind of like just precedent setting, or is it just like only, like, or some other games just with character creators follow suit eventually, or is it just like, nah, this is too much?
I think what Creatures Incorporated did with Pokemon was just, it kind of did it for me. I just noped right out of it.
Yeah, well, who knows? Who knows what the character creator feature of, in games these days will come up with at the end of the day. But, if you want to do the whole trans experience, you got to do it properly with all the drawbacks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it's not a true simulator.
I will say this. I really hope that the creators of Second Life don't make the game into something modern or some bullshit like that.
Oh, I
Because
wouldn't worry. Ali, see, the Second Life guys tried to turn around and make a modern version of Second Life, and it basically got yeeted so quickly it was not funny. So the way things are is basically how they're going to always be.
okay, good, because I will fucking cry if that happens, because I just joined Second Life last in late 2021 because of Foxler, so
Yeah, no,
I
don't
think they'll be
worry.
fine.
The
Like
owners
that
gave
too.
up.
Like those games like them and VR chat will be fine, I'm sure. So yeah, like we said with the third hand Emerson Colley, as a mechanic, there have been times I wish I had a third hand. Come on, go get on the next level. Have a fourth. You know, an extra pair of hands. Otherwise,
Go
you're just gonna
Vishnu,
be
go 6.
yeah.
Wait, is it 6
You
or
know,
12?
if you thought
Depend.
Stitch having four hands was pretty crazy, remember somebody came up with 6 hands. You know? So yeah. Now on to the next item, which is also a perfect segue to what we've covered with The Sims. Ooh, you've got something that's going to be the peak of 2023.
And it's just getting started.
Star Wars convention to feature a drag panel for kids.
Yay!
The tagline says some of Star Wars' very best characters embody various core principles of drag.
The adult sex show part, or
what the fuck is this shit?
Monday, Twitter's user, that guy Jedi, revealed that Star Wars Celebration, the official convention for Star Wars fans with ticket availability, will be hosting a panel titled Star Wars is a Drag. That
That gay
that
Jedi
that
tweeted.
gay Jedi tweeted, I am humbled, grateful, and over the forest moons to announce that my something panel.
SW Star Wars Celebration panel with distraction titled Star Wars is a Drag, exploring Star Wars through the art of drag has been officially approved. Look at the whole tagline of this.
I'm sorry, was Disney a Christian-based company, or
I thought they were.
But now they've kind of, like we said, we covered this in the podcast, that now Disney has basically gone all in and they've,
Oh yeah, I
remember,
forgot.
they rejected the divinity of Jesus Christ. They went all in with the whole gay thing, like Florida broke them with Lightyear. So now this is the direction they're heading.
Satan knows the Bible just as well as God.
Yeah. Only he just, uses it in such a way that,
Yep.
wasn't he in heaven during that period when it was getting written? The Ten Commandments were sort of being devised, or was that after?
and then he gets cast down.
Yeah, Satan. Before he was Satan, was what was he called? Like Lucifer or whatever. Lucifer. He was one of the highest angels, and there's only a handful of them in the Bible, depending on which Bible you read. But he was up with the highest of the angels that God loved most. But he got cast out of heaven because he was too prideful. I think.
Yeah. Try, all that stuff with, rebelling. But now, let's have a look at this sort of stuff, like what they're trying to say about the whole Star Wars drag thing. The long and rich history of drag has graced the world with entertainment, culture, political action, and so much more.
Wait, when was drag political?
In this era, mainly.
Right.
It is no wonder then that today the art form has reached such a cultural significance that the truths and concepts of drag performance permeate countless aspects of our daily lives, including Star Wars.
So a bunch of cross-dressing men are supposed to be something to celebrate because
and it's apparently considered the form of highest culture today.
Are you serious?
I agree with Noble.
Let's look at the rest of the stuff. Let's continue reading. Some of Star Wars' very best characters embody various core principles of drag, whether it's Din Djarin's drag as personal expression and self-discovery, Asajj Ventress' drag as queer rebellion, or Padme Amidala's drag as self-empowerment. The relevance of drag even spills out of the pages and screens of Star Wars and flows through the fandom itself through hobbies like cosplay.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm sorry, I'm just finding it a little difficult how like cross-dressing men who are supposed to be putting on a show has turned into a. I'm gonna have to say the word here, movement.
I don't know. It may not be just cross-dressing men. It could be cross-dressing women as well.
I thought drag queens were specifically men who were dressing up as women to put on a show.
Okay. So there's such things as drag queens, but there's also such things as drag kings, women dressing up as males.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's been a thing for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As long as it's not that bloody 10-year-old kid doing it again.
And now it's arriving to Star Wars.
I'm
On the show, and that's
I'm okay with drag queens. I love drag queens. I love them when they're in Vegas, when they're doing a show and they're entertaining, and they mean something. When they're doing it for kids, I don't like them.
No, because the general thing for it is adult entertainment.
Mm-hmm. And it was tickets for children, and it says on the thing, it was with tickets for children ages 6 and up.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, over time, drag has become a both not safe for work and safe for work thing. As long as they have as long as they have drag outfits that's like appropriate, then I wouldn't see the problem. Hopefully the drag outfits are appropriate for that sort of thing.
You see, like Noble said, when it was Bugs Bunny doing it, it was in a way where it's not doing it for sexual whatever. It was doing it to fool Elmer Fudd.
Or Daffy Duck or whatever character was on screen causing problems.
Yeah, it wasn't to say, hey kids, you need to do this. It was to I'm trying to get away and I'm gonna be a tricky little guy about it, and I'm going to trick this guy. It was he was being a troll.
Wabbit season.
Season. I love Emerson Colley's comment. Drag racing is the only drag thing I like.
Yes. That I can agree with.
Well, technically they're the same thing. I mean, they're loud, obnoxious, and short-lived.
Oh, you get 2 points for that one.
Zinger. Perfect singer. But yeah, just like imagine this though. Can you imagine if they actually, the performance of that, and they actually took the most iconic Star Wars characters and then have them all dolled up? I think that's not an image that you want to put into your minds now, is it?
Oh, I need alcohol now. Oh.
I'm going to judge. For some reason, my brain's going to Jar Jar Binks' father when he was about to commit suicide. Just because of how dull his son was.
In my opinion, only the first 6 movies matter. Anything after the six, the original, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Anything after that, I don't, I don't ever want to see it ever.
Hmm.
Yeah, Star Wars is one of those things where it should have just been left as is, and maybe explore the rest of the universe instead of you know digging in deep.
I think they just had to milk the ever loving bejesus out of it ever since 2015, and Disney acquiring it.
I'm sorry, I know that George Lucas loves Jar Jar, but Jar Jar's just no. Although I can see Jar Jar as poking the fun at a lot of actual people out there.
Hmm.
My guilty pleasure is liking Jar Jar, the character, very much.
Yeah, but ultimately, as with all things, and especially with what we've covering in the past, I do have to say, reject modernity, reject Disney.
Well, the trouble is they're not trying to tell a good story anymore. They're just trying to promote, their ideals, and that's not how you tell a good story. It's basically how you ruin shit.
Yeah.
I mean, take Captain Jack Harkness for instance. Good story, side gags. Don't take shit too seriously, and make it good to watch. Unfortunately, that seems to be significantly difficult for a lot of people in today's world.
They're going where the woke trends are.
Yep.
At the end of the day, but it'll cost them. They're just waiting for the
Sorry, I'm
wink shit.
just yeah.
Nah.
Star Wars is one of those franchises that's left me burnt recently. Very rarely do you actually come across something good.
Mhm. All right. There's one other item we've got, and it's pretty interesting with what it covers. Let us have a look at this one here. Nice. All right. This one here. Netflix made an anime using AI due to a quote unquote labor shortage, and fans are pissed.
Yeah. Sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, we know last year, AI art, AI generated creative material just exploded, you know, and it got, and the progression of it just kept getting more and more, more and more in such a short span of time. More sophisticated AIs happened, and they can actually make some really good stuff given if you give it the right prompts. So now, what did Netflix do? Netflix Japan claimed that the project, a short called The Dog and the Boy, uses AI generated art in response to labor shortages in the anime industry. As an experimental effort to help the anime industry, which has a labor shortage, we used image generation technology for the background images of all 3-minute video cuts.
So my sort of thing behind this is what I've noticed a lot of people is if you tend to pay people like actual money at a proper rate, you tend to get you tend to find it's less difficult to actually have staff.
Mhm.
So say for instance there was a hotel in Hobart, never actually paid me, and I was there for a couple of months. But I left simply because I wanted to go to school, and there was no pay. I used to work for another employer who I had to use my Centrelink money in order to fund my ability to do my job.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was good. So maybe a company like how much does Netflix make globally?
Millions.
How much of it is actually profit that they don't really have to put back
They can
anywhere?
just tax cheat.
Why not invest that into, say, I don't know, paying people who do the you know little sort of drawing things instead of just
Again,
trying to pocket it all?
this is basically the one of the evils of modern corporate culture. Look at ways to reduce labor costs.
Oh, that's always been a thing.
But yeah, now you look at the trailer here of this new AI generated anime. Look at the imagery and all that. Like they've claimed the background was AI generated.
I got angry when animators went from actual drawing on what do you call those pieces of plastic that they would use to whatever.
I think it's cellulose.
Yes, cellulose or whatever they're called. I got angry when they went to I think it's called Macromedia Flash animation, and I'm like, oh, that's cheating. That's not animation. That's computer animation. Don't call it animation. And now we're letting the computer do it instead of the guy putting it into Macromedia Flash or Flash animation. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, even Macromedia Flash animation is obsolete now.
Oh yeah, it was Adobe Flash for the most
Adobe
part,
Flash. Thank you.
but it did start off as Macromedia.
Like, not that it was cheating, it was just a little lazy. But this is all right. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at that little video clip, and the puppy is cute. I want to watch it now.
Look, if this was a small studio doing this where they didn't have much of a budget, that's a different story than some like mega corporation.
Like we look at this layout, hand drawn. Step 2, AI generation. Step 3, AI generation. Final VG revised by hand. We'll go through
Leave
this
it to
segment
next.
again.
Leave it to
Yeah, like this is the
Netflix.
whole process of how they do the sort of
Now,
thing.
technically, AI is going to be integrated into things like the Adobe lineup to help with making stuff, but it falls down to the line exactly how far is too far for AI to be utilized.
Even though this was AI generated, I thought it looked really good.
Well, no, it was just the background that was AI generated. As I understand, the rest of it was
Oh,
animated.
I mean, they did have to. You could actually see that there was some, some of that human touch that you can't get exactly with AI generated art. That was there in the process of making it.
This is just my humble opinion. It's the little flaws in drawing that make it so nice.
Hmm.
You can't fake that. It's like going from an MP3 that's absolutely flawless or WAV music, and then going back to vinyl LP and having all those little pops and clicks. That's what makes this music so much better because it's got its little flaws.
Well, for a while, people were obsessed with clear audio because they didn't like hearing the background noise. That's the funny thing.
It's come full circle, hasn't it?
I mean, it's the same thing. Back in England, having white bread was considered to be the higher fashion, while brown bread was considered to be, toxic and wrong. But man, times have changed. The way I see it, if AI tools are going to be used to help streamline certain processes, fine. But you still need to have a team of people at least working on different areas in order to make a show proper. That's just my feeling with it. Yes, by all means, use it to help streamline certain processes, but don't rely on it for like a lot of things because it just takes the work out of it. Mind you, anime itself is a pretty shitty industry to be in, especially as an employee
That's one of the complaints
or a
too, but
worker.
part of it has got to do with that and the Japanese working ethic and culture, where Japanese people just, I don't know, they just have this compulsive will to be overworked.
It's more. I think it's more of a accepted fact that that's what they have to do.
It's,
Which
I
is a real
think
strange
it's really
sometimes.
a cultural more, I think, but who knows?
Well,
At
the
the end of
problem
the
is
day,
they're
yeah,
working themselves to death, and that's never healthy.
no, but that seems to be a common Japanese cultural value. Yeah. Now, but you can say that you're right. Like there's a lot of mores regarding this whole AI generation stuff that you've actually covered too. Like, are they doing this to cut, to stop to avoid paying workers? Are they doing this to to solve a labor problem? Or or is it that AI has effectively taken out the artist's job and artists are revolting, protesting because of this?
All I'll say is that the anime industry itself seriously needs to be worked over. It is just shocking, some of the stories I've heard.
Hmm. Yeah, and at present though, but what did you think just overall the quality of that little snippet there with AI generated background imagery and all that?
Well, the thing is that unless someone actually specifically mentions it, you're not going to really be able to tell.
Hmm.
I mean, background is not usually seen as something that's heavily focused on. It's just something nice in the back. I mean, with
And I know,
Pokemon, a lot of people would ignore the fact that, oh, yeah, it's just a stupid cartoon, but a lot of people ignore just the detail in the work for the background shots is psychotically insane.
and I know anime have some of the most intricate, detailed backgrounds ever drawn.
Oh, yeah.
Like hand drawn too, and hand animated too, no less. Scanned, whatever you want to use for it. But
Well,
yeah,
3D's been introduced into Japanese anime for a while, and it has
mhm,
been integrated in different ways.
yeah,
Digimon's probably an excellent example of the
mhm,
direct integration of 3D work straight into the actual show itself.
mhm,
Otherwise, it's just incredibly difficult to get some of the turning shots.
yeah. But I do want to say before we conclude on this segment, what do you think the ramifications of such a thing could possibly be? Do you think we'll actually animes can be made entirely by our AI overlords?
Well, someone's going to have to at least write something for the show.
Yeah, because
Otherwise,
now it's completely the text to art thing by AIs is grown very at a quick exponential rate.
well, actual animation by purely a computer is possible, and I have seen, I think it was like a walking elephant.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, what do you think? Can AIs take over the whole process? Can AIs come up with a story for it?
Oh,
Given
given
you
enough
just prompt in
time,
some
by all
prompts and all
means.
that.
By all means, given enough time.
Yeah, I reckon.
What about you, Ali?
What is it?
What do you think?
Jolt's
Could AI really come up with an anime just without the human hands or human intervention?
I'm not sure.
All you do is type in a few prompts and let the AI do the rest.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if AI if AI generators could actually do that on their own
Hmm.
or not.
Yeah, maybe reckon give it a few years.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, guys have been having crazy stuff happening in chat. Oh well. Um, but I guess this is where we're at this week. Quite a bit's happened. Quite a lot's happened. And wow. So, who would like to just say kind of like a closing statement for this week's things and my return?
I'll go first. Welcome back. Welcome home. I hope you had a blast on your vacation because it really does look like it.
Mhm.
You look fantastic in a partial because that's just my opinion. I love the way a partial looks on people.
Yeah.
As far as boob removal scars, I'm never going to play The Sims ever. If there was any time that I would play The Sims, I'm not playing it now.
Well, you
It
could
is.
become you can actually become a werewolf in The Sims.
I'm downloading it as we speak.
Make sure you get the right version, though.
But as but as far as AI making a an anime just by typing it up a few phrases, it's scary how well it works. It's absolutely terrifying, and I do believe that it can happen. I don't know if I'll like it, but my gosh, I really do believe it can happen. I'm gonna pass this torch over to one, two, three, four. Ali.
Why do people always pick me every time?
Because we're
Because we're
evil.
picking on you. And I've got an unpicker in my hand right now, too, so, heads up.
um, yeah. First thing, the thing with Joe. Yeah, Joe, welcome back from your vacation. I'm really glad you had a good time. And yeah, the first few picks definitely do look good. Um, Second off, I don't like the whole trans thing that they and the whole disabilities thing that they put in the Sims in the new Sims game. But at the same time, I'm just but at the same time I'm just like this is really nothing new because like for example, Second Life in the Sims franchise, they always have put like weird or not safe for work mods and in that sort of stuff. So it's no surprise at the same time. Um, I don't have any opinions about the other topics, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
All right. Noble.
So it's at this point where I really love being able to sit down with popcorn and just watching the world burn. Because half the time you just make it too easy. I'm sorry, but Sims, you're going to introduce something to your franchise. Good luck with it. Well, as for AI, yeah, eventually one day you're just going to have a bunch of servers outputting whatever, and the best part is they're going to be all on the cloud. So some smartass is going to come around, hack it, and do whatever they want to it. It's going to be,
True that. And then they say we can claim that it's all mine now.
yeah,
Yeah.
all your base belong to us.
See, and this is why you don't fully trust cloud systems. Always gotta have a physical. But yeah, hopefully it's my hope. It is my hope that I have succeeded in being out there in sharing the world with you and being in a symbol of inspiration in these times. And as always, I do enjoy watching the world burn. Kind of like just what we still have in our background picture. Perfect statement piece, though. So
Just some popcorn and some marshmallows.
that's what we did. Marshmallows. So, as always, our episodes are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Player.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more further down the line. Thank you for those who tuned in. I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did making it, and as much as I did having the expedition of a lifetime. And as a closing statement, Neville, why do all of your people have to put whiskey on everything, including
Welcome to
sauce
Tasmania.
and marmalade?
Good night. Good day.
Ruff, ruff. Bye,
It's
everyone.
announced.
Farewell.
Love you a long time, everyone.